Brooke and this is a special bonus episode of Wine Together. I'm joined today by my brother Rinn.
Hello.
Okay, and cheers. Do you like my wine glass, right?
Yeah, that's awesome. Mine's
I
like because of the background, it's like doing weird things.
disappearing. I feel bad asking you to change your background back because you keep disappearing,
Yeah,
or change it to blur.
yeah. I can turn it off. I just thought it was really cute. Hold on.
It is
Let me
really
go to
cool.
my,
It'll definitely be in the video for a little bit, but every time you move, you disappear. So
yeah. How do I change my background? Oh my God. It's been so long since I've used this.
let's see if I can do it for
Ah,
you.
backgrounds. There we go. No,
Okay,
there we go. All right. There
there
we
we
go.
go. Ooh.
Ew, there
I
we
mean,
go.
black is also like very fitting for like a Halloween kind of.
My lighting.
Yeah.
Cheers.
So I did just watch a football game. It was really good because so right now there's the Nations League going on, which is all the like national teams of Europe are playing against each other.
That's
Um
cool.
yeah. And so the other day England played against Greece and they lost.
Wow.
But my boy Jude Bellingham scored a goal, so that was pretty good. But then yesterday, I only watched the first half of the game, but Switzerland played Serbia and they lost, which is kind of sad. Um, but today England beat Finland, so doing pretty good. Yeah, because you
Yeah.
understand football enough, right, to understand what I'm talking
Yeah.
about.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, I used to play, but that was like, what, 20,
Oh my God. That
20
was
years ago?
Oh my gosh, a long time ago. I played 15 years, is that right? 15 years ago, something like that.
Mine's not actually 20. I stopped playing when I was 10, so 14 years ago.
I thought you played longer than that.
No, I stopped when I was 10 because I got my ears pierced when I was 10.
Okay, interesting. Yeah.
Ooh, that's
No,
really good.
it was a very interesting game. I feel like there's no good way to have this hat on my head.
What wine are you drinking?
It is a Chianti Reserva from Italy.
Oh, nice. You're drinking
Not very
Italian.
expensive. Yeah, it was not very expensive.
I I made cocktails because I'm not a wine drinker. And this one is called Dracula's Kiss.
Nice, nice.
So, and I turned it into a full cocktail rather than a shot.
Uh,
Um, so it's got a cherry corn syrup blood drop it on the outside, got raspberries, and it's vodka, chambrand, and like a bunch of different juices. But
nice. Yeah. I would
yeah,
have made a zombie, but it calls for a lot of rum, and we don't have any rum here, and I didn't want to go and spend $80 or 80 francs on rum. Um, because it's like four different types of rum.
okay.
And I was like, I am not doing I am
Let
not
me let me tell you a little thing about how I could afford all of the stuff that I bought.
boy.
Um, so our mom and dad
Mm,
went to a meeting at the beach for about like 3.5 hours, right?
yeah,
And they got $100 gift card that they
nice.
left in my wallet.
I mean, finders keepers, right?
I mean, the other funny thing is, Dad texted me the other
Mhm.
day. And it's like, hey, just so you know, you might get an email about uh a pizza that I'm getting. And I was really confused. I was like, why am I getting an email? Like, do I have an account with them? Like, what's going on? Why am I getting an email? And so I find out that it's because my email is linked to the credit card we share. And I was just like, that's so funny. And then they sent me a picture of the pizza, and I was just like, I would have ate that entire pizza.
Oh my gosh. Uh, no. I mean,
Okay,
I can tell you, I'm 90% sure this wine was cheaper than this cup.
that might be true. I think I had gotten mom to buy that cup
Th-
one year during Halloween, and um I I mean Halloween is definitely my favorite time of the year. I have a lot of spooky stuff going on.
Yep.
My lighting is not actually intentional, which is really funny. I just have a grow light for my plants, and then I have a lava lamp right behind, which is what all the lighting is. Because I live in one of the areas that was extremely devastated by Hurricane Helene. I'm
Mhm.
in Western North Carolina, and so my power is back on.
Yeah.
However, internet is still down, and my lights are LED lights, and they
Uh,
connect to the internet to turn on.
oh
So
yeah.
I can't turn them on.
Oh no.
So I was just like, well, at least I have grow lights that I can turn on in my lava lamp, so it's not like completely dark in here.
Yeah.
Plus, my plants really need the grow light right now since they've been without light for 11 days. So
Oh.
I've just been leaving it on most of the time.
Mm. Yeah. Well, I am in a very lucky spot where the worst like natural disasters we get are thunderstorms and what else? I mean, I don't know. We've never gotten a blizzard in the 5 years we've been here, so just thunderstorms. But they can be pretty bad.
Yeah.
They can be
So
pretty.
um it's really interesting because I'm in the mountains, right?
Mhm.
And I was hit by a hurricane. And
I know.
I don't really know how to fully describe a hurricane in the mountains. Like it sounds atrocious. It sounds like it's not a real thing.
Yeah. No, it's wild. Oh my God. And then Florida got hit by a hurricane the other
So
day.
Florida was hit by Helene, and Helene came up all the way. I
Yeah.
think it went into Virginia a little bit,
Yeah.
and then Milton hit the other day.
Yeah. It was on
Um,
the other side of Florida, right?
so everything, all the hurricanes that have hit so far, hit on the west coast of Florida, which is the coast that's in the Gulf.
Yeah.
And so, but from what I've heard from a YouTuber who is based in Florida,
Uh-huh.
uh, the west coast getting hit on the west coast is not as bad because it returns back into the ocean most of the time.
Okay.
Whereas getting hit on the East Coast
Uh-huh.
is a lot more devastating from what
Mhm.
I heard. Now, I
Yep.
don't know if that's true. I'm not a like
Yeah.
meteorologist, oceanologist, like hurricane special. I just know from what she said. So,
Uh-huh. I don't know. Oh boy.
but Milton went straight across Central Florida, and the videos that I've seen
Mhm.
of them like trying to tell people to evacuate is so purge like because the police are literally driving around, right, on their intercom saying, if you can evacuate, evacuate now. If you are
Mhm.
not going to evacuate and have an emergency, the emergency responders may not get to you. Survive at your own risk. And I'm just like, what the
Oh my God.
it's so crazy. I was just like, that
Oh
I'd be
no.
very concerned if like a kid under the age of like I think 16 is okay,
Hmm.
but like um I don't know. I anything younger than 16 and they're not with their parents, you know.
Yeah. I was about to say 14 supervised is fine.
14, that's very young to me.
I think in some places, if you're with your parents, you can drink at 14. At least
I've
in New
heard that there's some place in Europe that you can start drinking at like 9.
I know what you're talking about. I think it's Greece.
That's young to me.
Greece might be
Because
12 actually, but you have to
that
be.
may be because of where I grew up and how people are like so addicted to things in the areas that I am, that it's just like that's crazy.
Yeah. Well, that's okay. They have like a different outlook on alcohol in Europe than they do in the US because
That
in
is
the
true.
like people are it's so taboo in the US that it's like people don't
I
know how to
think that
actually drink safely.
I think that the other thing is we had the prohibition in the was it the 18 or the 1900s?
It was the early 1900s.
Early 1900s. And so that was like another reason. And what really sucks is they blame the Irish.
Of course.
They considered Irish white trash, and so they like uh blame the Irish because they would come in intoxicated to their jobs, and they're like, okay, well, what if we ban alcohol? And then we had the bootleggers, which
Hmm.
now there's alcohol named after them. Now I'm getting notifications on my phone. Oh my I'm having to use my phone because I don't have internet, so I can't use my computer.
Yes. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. That's okay.
So,
Mm.
do we have a specific thing that we're talking about? I
No.
no. Okay.
It's a
Because
bonus
we could.
episode.
Okay, bonus episode. I mean, I have a lot of like funny stories from Hurricane Helene. If you want to hear them,
I
like
mean,
okay, let me go grab because I documented it all because I was just like, this is such a crazy, unprecedented thing to go
mhm.
through, especially in the mountains. And I think I can't remember like any other crazy thing other than when we were very young. We lived
Mhm.
in Lexington in a um trailer, and there was a really bad storm in which a tree fell on the trailer, and so mom and dad switched sides of the trailer with the kids. And I don't know if you remember that because you
I
were
really don't
young.
remember it.
You were like maybe 3 or 4.
Baby. I was older than that because we didn't move to Lexington until I was 5, I think.
Okay. I I do know that. And like the thing is I was 4 turning 5 the month after Katrina hit.
Uh-huh.
And so you would have been 2.
3, 2005, I would have been 2, turning 3.
You had just turned 3 because
Okay.
it hit in August. So you would have been 3.
Yeah.
And so uh that's crazy to me. Yeah. And so it's like that amount of the amount of devastation that was here is that's what they're comparing it to because it's right under like Katrina already with death tolls, and
Yeah.
the fact that there's still like Asheville is still closed, Chimney Rock is completely gone. One of my
Wow.
favorite places that I visited, which was Little Switzerland, I heard
Hmm.
was completely devastated by mudslides and flooding.
What about
And
Sapphire?
huh?
What about Sapphire?
I have not heard much about Sapphire,
Mm-hmm.
but Brevard was actually one of the quickest places that opened back up.
Hmm.
Um, which is crazy because like every time it rained while I was in college, parts of the campus got flooded.
Oh, wow.
Um, and so it's just like it was crazy to me because I was just like, wow, they opened up before where I am. And so it's just like I mean, this town is really interesting and like there's a lot of weird
Mhm.
dynamics here, but um it was like we're still trying to get back up and running in the sense of the internet is so spotty right now.
Yeah.
And like it will work for a couple days and then it will go completely down and stuff. But let me grab my notebook because it's right over here. September 30th is when I started writing.
Mhm.
Um, so uh, and Hurricane Helene hit the North Carolinas on the 27th,
Uh-huh.
and uh, unfortunately for Western North Carolina, we had thunderstorms and rainstorms the whole week before.
Oof.
And in my case, we lost power in the early hours, so around like 5:50 a.m.
Mhm.
Friday morning.
Mhm.
A very large tree that was in our um parking lot, like on
Uh-huh.
the hill, had
Mhm.
fell onto the power lines on the street behind our house, which is called Allen Street.
Yeah.
Um, and so it broke the power lines completely, like ripped them to shreds. It broke the internet lines. It like broke the pole that the lines were on too. And so I was just like, that's crazy. Lake Lure's dam broke. A couple of dams broke. I know Lake Lure's did, and a couple other ones,
Mhm.
and washed that town away. It
Uh-huh.
washed Chimney Rock away. Biltmore Village was in ruins.
Mhm.
Asheville is flooded, and there's damage all over the place.
Mhm.
Um, as of September 30th, the death count was already 132,
Oh, wow. Oh my goodness.
which is the second deadliest hurricane other than Katrina.
Uh-huh.
But uh, and there were reports of at least 600 missing at that time.
Mhm.
And so there will be honestly no way to know fully how truly deadly and devastating this
Mhm.
area was because of the lack of cell service, the lack of resources being able to get in. There are areas in the mountains where they are completely off grid. They
Mhm.
are completely um, like mountain people. They don't talk to outsiders. They don't let people into their village unless they know them. And that's just kind of Appalachia for you. There's
Mhm.
several towns like that. There's several little outways where they do not like the internet. They do not like people knowing who they are, stuff like that. And they just kind of go out here to disappear from society. And
Mhm.
so that was one of the things that I was thinking about, like we have no idea if these people even fully exist.
Mhm.
There's talks about them. There's talks about cults in these woods. Like there's
Mhm.
a lot of things that we don't fully know that
Yeah.
could be gone. Like a big thing in here because we have a county called Transylvania County. It's like
Yeah.
vampires and it's the Sasquatch, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so um who knows? Their home may have been disturbed and we might see some sightings.
I mean,
Might hear
maybe.
about it. Um, and so I also wrote down the amount of power outages.
Mhm.
And so, and it kind of cuts out some, like, because I was focusing on my county and the ones surrounding me. But
Yeah.
starting with Cleveland County, 85% were without power. Haywood with 35%,
Mhm.
Henderson 100%.
Wow.
Yeah. Jackson County was 30%,
Mhm.
Macon was 15,
Mhm.
Madison 62,
Mhm.
McDowell 93, Mitchell 84, Polk 32, Rutherford, I'm probably saying that wrong. It might be Rutherford. I don't know. Uh,
For
it's 90%. And
uh-huh.
then Transylvania was 79%.
Wow.
Um, so a poster on Instagram, I'm gonna leave out all names just to keep
Mhm.
people
Yeah.
kind of like anonymous. Uh, reported that they had called 911 during Helene and was met with the response, good luck finding anyone to help. And so she goes on to state that she left her city for the time being. And then another poster on uh, Instagram threads showed a screenshot of Google Maps showing how parts of I-40 and I-26 in Western North Carolina are completely gone.
Mhm.
Also, I I want to mention that I did hear from our cousin who is in Boone.
Yeah.
Uh, and I was able to get a hold of her, and
Uh-huh.
she's fine.
Mhm.
Her wife's fine. You know,
Mhm. Yeah. Uh,
uh, I just checked in on them because
mhm.
I did not even realize that Boone had gotten hit so hard until
Yeah.
someone told me that uh, the bridge on the
Uh-huh.
side of the mountain got completely knocked down from a landslide.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and it's such a beautiful sight. It's such a
Mhm.
lovely drive, and
Yeah.
so it's really sad. Um, Blue Ridge Parkway is closed indefinitely.
Wow.
Um, and uh, last night, um, my roommate showed me uh, the amount of deforestation in the area from uh, the hurricane, and it was crazy.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Um, so uh, I I was still going to work even though I didn't have power and stuff,
Yeah.
and so we were working modified hours 12 to 4. I got
Mhm.
spoiled on that because I would go home and take a nap at 4. So now when I'm working full time, I get so tired around 4 o'clock that I just want a nap. And so I
Yeah.
get home and I just fall asleep instantly.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Oh yeah.
Um, uh, this is a really sad report, though, that on Old Fort Road, which I think is in the Swananoa Valley,
Mhm.
but I'm not 100% sure.
Mhm.
Uh, they were there were so many reports of young children wandering naked, looking for their family. There were bodies in trees.
Mhm.
Um, the water, we were all under a boil water. Um, what's the word that I'm trying to think of? Uh, mandate. That's the word.
Uh-huh.
Boil water mandate. And ours is up, but I think other counties still have it.
Uh-huh.
Um, and a lot of counties are still on um curfews,
Mhm.
so because they don't want people looting and stuff like that. So I know that my county was when the first curfew hit, it was 8 to 8,
Oh wow.
and then it got modified to 10:30 to 6:30,
Mhm.
so 10:30 p.m. to 6:30 a.m. And now
Uh-huh.
the curfew is completely lifted here, even
Okay.
though because most people have power
Mhm.
and some people have internet, but not all.
Mhm.
Um, but going back to Old Fort Road, there were bodies in trees, contaminated water, and apparently unbearable odors from the amount of dead bodies.
Oh wow.
So, in North Carolina alone,
Mhm.
um, when I first saw this, I th- they were saying that like most of the dead were in
Mhm.
North Carolina,
Oh wow.
which which is crazy because we were not in the like direct
Mhm.
um storm, like we weren't on the coast of Florida or anything. It was a storm that had gone inland for
Yeah.
about I think that's like over 1,000 miles from
Yeah. Well,
Florida to.
what's so interesting about that is one of the possibilities, like one of the reasons for that may be that because Western North Carolina doesn't get hit by hurricanes like every year. I mean, Florida gets hit by a hurricane, at least one hurricane every year, right? So they're
Mhm,
kind of used to like figuring out how to keep the kind of toll down, whereas Western
mhm.
North Carolina doesn't have the kind of protections that Florida might. And that could
I
be one of the reasons for it.
I agree with you on that, and I think that like the other thing is we don't a lot of people don't even have flood insurance here. even
Mhm.
though we are technically in a flood plain,
Mhm.
because we don't get this crazy kind of weather. And what was really unfortunate is that we had rain already throughout the week, where
Mhm.
it was literally raining Thursday, Wednesday,
Yeah.
Tuesday, and Monday.
Mhm.
Um, that our rivers were flooded already. Like, there's a creek that runs on the road behind my house, and that
Mhm.
was already up to the embankment before the hurricane even hit.
Wow.
So that literally there were cars, because so we have um our driveway, which
Yeah.
and our like parking lot, which is
Mhm.
kind of up on the hill too, behind
Yeah.
some of the apartments.
Yeah.
But we have one spot per apartment.
Mhm.
So a lot of people park down below if they
Yeah.
have more than one car, at the bottom of the hill, which is right next to the creek.
Yeah.
And then some people do park up on the upper circle,
Mhm.
which is honestly what I would do if I had a car
Mhm.
because of what happened.
Mhm.
Um, but so like one of my neighbors, their boyfriend parks up there, another neighbor parks up there,
Mhm.
um, and then there actually a whole nother like separate parking lot for 1 to 2 cars, for one of the units below us.
Mhm.
Um, and so, but there were 3 cars down there.
Mhm.
They were completely underwater.
Oh my goodness.
And what was really eerie is that we were walking down after the storm,
Mhm.
and the truck that was there, the windshield wipers were still working, and
Oh my god.
we thought someone was inside the truck, so we ran up to the truck because we
Yeah.
were scared that there
Yeah.
was someone who got drowned in there.
Yeah.
And so we ran up to the truck and realized no one was in it and that it was just on. And we
Oh
are
my
like,
god.
we were so scared about that, and we were like, "Holy shit!" Um,
Mhm.
sorry, again, I cursed. I'm
Yeah, it's
sorry. Shoot, holy shoot! There we go.
okay.
I gotta go back to a PG-13 mind.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Um, this is what happens when you hang out with like people who are
Mhm.
twice your age all the time.
Yeah. I I
Everyone I work with is twice my age.
oh my gosh.
Main thing is that a bunch of people lives were destroyed and a lot
Yeah.
of people are picking up the thing. And there was like one other really funny thing that I wanted to tell you where like one of my neighbors was talking to me about his life, and he uh was like the kind of guy who he's like a wilderness guy and he's really cool. He's
Uh-huh.
also twice my age. And he has been one of the greatest neighbors to ever have because he's always been like looking out for us and stuff.
Yeah.
And um he's currently between his apartment and the house he's moving into,
Uh-huh.
and his apartment didn't take any damage, but the house he's moving into, there were like trees falling all around, and
Oh.
um, and it's his fiance's house.
Uh-huh.
He's engaged, and so uh, he he was like, "This is really testing our relationship because I really want to just clean up, and she's waiting for the insurance." And it was just like this whole thing. And I'm just like, "Oh, I feel you, buddy." And
Yeah.
so yeah, but there was like a lot of craziness going on during the storm as well, where like there were uh people abusing each other, people getting into fights. There was a lot of looting. There was an active shooter in Asheville. Like like it was like the storm was causing even more chaos.
I mean, that's what happens with these kinds of natural disasters, is,
Mhm.
like, all this kind of, like, stuff, it brings up, like, really horrible things because people's lives have been devastated, so, yeah, it's awful. My gosh.
Yeah.
It reminds me of
Uh,
an episode of Superstore where they have the tornado. Have you seen Superstore?
no, I have not.
Never mind. It's a really good show. It's really funny.
The other thing is like, um, I probably sound a little congested. I've been sick. But so it's like I get power back. I'm feeling good. I'm like trying to do stuff and get like cleaned up and
Mhm.
whatnot because we've been like digging to find things like our camp stove and stuff. And so now I'm like trying to clean that up. And with and from what I'm hearing is a lot of people are getting sick right now because the temperatures are dropping, and we just had this storm that just kicked up everything into the atmosphere. And
Yeah.
I am one of those people who got affected by that. I remember going to work on
Mhm.
Friday
Mhm.
and I just could not breathe. Like my nose was closed, snot was like I was so congested. And
Mhm.
then yesterday, I got asked to go into work and I was just like I literally could not get out of bed. I was like, I am hurting so badly because
Mhm.
my right leg, the muscle in my thigh, is like completely locked up right now. Like it's solid. It feels like
Yeah.
I'm just solid. And so
Mhm.
I couldn't even like put weight on my leg either. And so I was just like, I really do not feel well at all. I cannot come into work. And now today I'm drinking and I'm just like, whoops. Oh well. Make me
Well,
feel worse.
well, it's okay. I mean, you know, it's fine. I mean, this is also like the first episode I've recorded without having a massive cough in like 3 weeks.
I've noticed that you were coughing a lot in your
There was like a couple episodes I was editing one episode and I thought I was being so smooth with the cough drop and the only thing I'm seeing is me sucking up the cough drop. And it was the episode I just put out for Friday that I had with
Mhm,
Dad, the Football Friday episode, and I can
mhm.
just like see myself sucking on the cough drop. I'm like that.
That's really funny. I almost um needed a cough drop at work the other day, and I was just like, "Oh my gosh." Like, but and the other thing was I was like eating my salad and I had to eat so slowly
Yeah.
because I could not breathe.
Mhm.
Like if
Yeah.
I had something in my mouth, I could not breathe because my nose was completely clogged.
Well, the greens should be good for you to help you feel better.
Yeah. Um, I have a few questions just kind of like to ask because I mean, what we haven't seen each other in person since your graduation.
I know.
So that's been like what? How long was that?
It was May. 6 months. It's been 6 months. You know why? Because I have to start paying off my student loans now. I got an email
Oh,
reminding me the other day.
don't worry about student loans right
No,
now.
I have to pay them off because I no, I have to do it. I don't want to get like into that situation where I'm not paying off my student loans. They're only $270 a month for 10 years. Can I just
Jesus. Okay. What is your favorite Halloween memory?
Oh boy, I don't really have, I don't know. I'm really bad at remembering things from the past. So I can't really think of too many Halloween memories. I don't know. I was thinking about trick-or-treating earlier and like how I miss trick-or-treating. But let's see. I don't know.
I
Um
remember
hmm,
one of
yeah,
my favorite ones
okay.
where uh we were trick or treating with some friends and we went over to the rich neighborhood and it was like really late in the trick or treating time. And
Mhm,
so the houses that were giving out full candy bars, right?
mhm.
They were trying to get rid of as much stuff as possible because it was so late that
Yeah,
they gave us like 5 large candy bars each.
I
I
don't
don't know
remember.
if you remember that, but my other thing was like the fact that we would always trade candies because I'm not a big fan of chocolate, and I'm not a big fan of peanut butter.
Mhm,
And so we would like trade candies, and I
mhm.
would like always try to get the Butterfingers from everybody.
My gosh, I just saw a Reddit post about someone like a family being upset with people for giving out chips for Halloween instead of candy, and it was
I
because like, of something, and someone commented, yeah, like why don't they just trade with their siblings or with their thing because the kid didn't like chips or something like that.
I
The kid was
I
getting
like getting a variety. I don't
yeah. You
only want
remember when we got
candy.
do you remember the popcorn balls? Someone used to give
Yes,
popcorn balls for, I don't remember what neighborhood that was in. Was that when we were in Wake Forest or Rollsville?
I think so. I think it was in Wake Forest. And I think I remember who it was.
They were so good.
Yeah, I had a friend in Wake Forest who was a little
Mhm.
girl who had long blonde hair. I'm not gonna say her name because I do remember her name, but we had the same exact bike. I don't know if I don't know if you remember that. Someone like told me that my bike was stolen. And so I like went down there and then I saw my bike in our backyard. I was like, that's so funny. They have the same bike as me. And so I like went up to her house. I was just like, hey, I know you didn't like steal my bike or whatever. We just have the same bike and I think that's so funny. Do you want to hang out? And that's how I became friends with her. And then I remember one year I was in like the in between stages. I was probably like a preteen, 12, 13, and the teenagers were having a party, but I was walking you around trick or treating. And so I like stepped into the party for like maybe 2 minutes, grabbed all their goodie bags. Like I grabbed like five goodie bags and just stuck them in my shirt. And I remember giving one to you and one to like a couple of the neighbors and stuff. And I thought that was so funny.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Do you remember when this isn't Halloween related, but it's related to the popcorn balls? Do you remember when our bus driver gave us the popcorn balls because we were always nice to him? And we were the
Yes.
only two people that got anything from him?
Yeah. We were always so like we were raised to be respectful to our elders and to everybody and like to not cause problems.
We were
And
the only people on that bus that actually liked him as a bus driver. No one else liked him.
do you remember Mr. Rich?
You gotta remind me what neighborhood.
I think it was St. Catherine's.
Okay, no.
Okay, Mr. Rich was a bus driver that
No,
was
Mr. Bob. Wasn't that his
Miss
name? Mr. Bob?
we no, we had Mr. Bob, right?
Yeah, I was talking about, yeah.
That you were talking about. But before Mr. Bob, and one time when Mr. Bob was sick, Mr. Rich used to drive that route.
I don't remember this.
Okay, so Mr. Rich was apparently a crazy bus driver, like would drive way too
Wait,
fast.
was he the bus driver that crashed the bus that one time when we were on it?
Yeah.
Okay, I remember.
Because we had yeah, we because Mr. Bob was not there and and so the thing is, Mr. Rich didn't crash the bus.
Oh,
Someone
you
tried to
believe it?
drive under the bus.
Yeah. We
So
were we
we
were in
were
like,
in a neighborhood for like an hour.
oh my God. Were we not in walking distance or am I thinking of something else? Maybe I was in another bus crash.
No, I don't think we were in walking distance. I think we were in walking distance of our house
Maybe.
because I think we were in the neighborhood across the street.
That's what I was thinking, was that we could walk home.
Yeah,
But for whatever reason, I was thinking that was when we were in Rollsville, but no, because that doesn't make sense. We wouldn't have taken
the bus.
this. Wait,
Yeah,
oh, I would have. I took the bus to Sanford Creek. So
yeah.
maybe I was in another bus crash.
Oh my gosh. Okay, another Halloween question, real quick. What is your favorite candy?
My favorite candy? Oh boy. I don't know. I haven't had like candy in a while. Like I've had because there's so many like sweet treats here that are not candy that
Hmm.
I just don't eat that much candy. Oh my God. Um,
I know Dad's.
Dad's is Reese's.
Yeah. Do you know mine?
Snickers.
Mine is not Snickers. Mine's Butterfingers. I just mentioned that
No, no, no.
earlier.
I said mom's is Snickers.
Mom's is Snickers?
Yeah, she gets
Okay.
Snickers here all the time.
Okay.
Um, I I don't know. Is it bad if I say Ben and Jerry's cookie dough? I know that's not candy, but it's the,
That's funny.
the
You're
best one.
more of an ice cream person than a candy person anyway.
100%. I love ice cream.
Yeah.
Ice cream
But yeah,
first.
mine is Butterfingers. Mine's always been Butterfingers. Or the Raffaellos, the coconut Raffaellos.
The ones you can get here.
Yeah.
Oh, what about the ones that you really liked that we got? The Toffee Fay.
Oh yeah, Toffee Fay. Those are really good too. Um,
The Merci chocolates. Those are really, really good.
oh, I got some of those, but the cat knocked them down and we
Oops.
had to make sure he didn't eat any.
Yeah.
Um, I have another one. What's your favorite thing you've ever dressed up as?
Favorite thing I've ever dressed up as. Well, I had that one costume when I was a baby that I didn't get to pick, the fairy princess costume, the Barbie one that I wore for like 6 years straight because it fit me for 6 years.
You were so tiny as a kid. You were very tiny.
It's so
Up
funny.
until you were tiny until you were like 14.
hmm but also I had, I don't know. I mean, I liked, remember when I dressed up as a vampire and mom made the cape? I really liked.
Yeah, that
Mhm.
was really awesome. Mom did a really good job on that costume.
Oh, I
I
remember
think
visiting dressed up as Tinkerbell.
uh I I think one of my favorite costumes was when I went as Bellatrix Lestrange.
Mhm. Oh,
I
because you had,
have yeah, I had the Death Eater mask
where
and
is
then huh?
where is that Death Eater mask?
Probably in storage. I think. Um, but the there was another year where I was in Lexington
hmm
and I was in Lexington and I was supposed to hang out with like our cousins and stuff and go to this trunk or treat thing, but I didn't have a costume
hmm
because I didn't know that I was going to be there for Halloween. And so I went as I think her name Jane Austen. That may be the wrong name. I
Are you
know
talking,
her name is Jane for sure.
are you talking
From
about author?
Twilight.
Oh, no, never mind. Jane Austen is an author. Was an
Okay.
author. She's died in the 1800s. Oh.
Maybe that's why I know the last name Jane, like why I know Jane Austen. I probably read some of her books, but I went as, or maybe her last name is Valtori because they're the Valtori vampires or something. I don't know, but I went as Jane from the Valtori. She has this power to like control people. I think is what
Mhm.
it is. I don't know. I haven't watched or read Twilight since 2011, so.
Last year, I technically went as Danny Rojas just because I had the shirt and I was like, I
Mhm.
didn't actually dress up. But this year, I've got a Jude Bellingham kit and an Mbappe kit, so I don't know which one I should wear for Halloween.
Um, I what year did you go as the Spider Witch?
That was 2019, I think. Wait,
You looked so
2020, my
beautiful.
first year of college. Yeah, I don't know where that dress is. I think it's downstairs in the basement.
You looked so pretty. I was just like, I showed my boss, and she's like, "Oh, your sister's very pretty," and I was like, "Yeah, she is."
Well, I have German class on Halloween, so I can't actually dress up. So
You're not allowed to dress up in your German class?
they don't do Halloween here. Like not really. It's only for
That's
like
really interesting
kids. So
because like
yeah.
I thought Halloween was like a pagan German tradition.
Maybe, but it's more become commercialized in the US. So, like the whole dressing up thing, that's not like what originally Halloween was, and what it has be like what we think of Halloween now is more a US thing.
Okay,
So, little kids, they'll do it, but like they don't really have like Halloween here. So,
okay.
mhm.
Isn't it like Walpurgisnacht in German? Is
I
like Witch's Night or something?
I have no clue.
Um, I don't know. I'll have to remember. But I don't know. I don't know a lot of people here who like really like Halloween in the same way that I do. So
Hmm.
that's like I know a couple and I might hang out with them during Halloween, but it really depends on if the roads are open and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Um I had one more question. Uh I don't remember it. Do you have any questions? Do you have any
I
ones? No.
no, I didn't really prepare anything.
I mean, like I had the whole preparation of talking about Colleen, and then I was just like, I'm already tired of talking about it almost. And then I know that's a trauma response, and like I was like reading up on someone who survived Katrina, and they're like, you won't you'll want to talk about it at first, and
Mhm.
then you'll talk about it so much that you
Mhm.
don't want to talk about it. And I
Yeah.
think I'm already at that point of I
Yeah.
probably talked about it so much with people who went through it with me that
Mhm.
I'd like don't want to talk about it anymore.
Yeah.
Which is sad because I feel like people really need to see because I know like the news couldn't really cover everything fast enough
Mhm.
because there are so many hurricanes. I did see something on TikTok and
Oh
I
boy.
want to reiterate
Yeah.
what everyone was saying on TikTok. Put
Okay.
it back. Whatever you took from the ancient burial grounds in Tampa, Florida, put it back.
Maybe it's because it's finally the people, the native Floridians wanting the land. I mean, Spain stole the land, and then the US
Hmm.
bought it for really cheap from Spain. And I
Hmm.
think finally they're coming, and the native Floridians, or actually native Mexicans, because it
Hmm.
was part of Mexico, are like finally getting their revenge. So maybe we should just give it back to Mexico.
I'm fine with that.
Along with that, let's give them Texas, Arizona, New Mexico. Let's give all of those back too. We don't want them.
you,
We don't want your Texas. You can keep it.
you gotta be careful saying that, especially dressed up as a cowgirl.
No, I just
Might want to just like erase that part completely.
for our whole 10 viewers.
I don't know how many views you get.
No, I get 10. That's it. I've looked at the analytics. We
Is
get
that is that everyone in our family basically?
no, no one in our family listens to this.
Wow.
I
I
know.
listen.
Oh, that's it. I think M tries to, but some of the episodes are long. But no, well, at least the most views we've gotten on YouTube is 10. I haven't been able to actually see, we haven't gotten enough views on Apple or on Spotify to get analytics from them. So I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
I listen on Apple, so that's really interesting that you don't.
Well, you might
I
be the
don't
only
watch it on
person.
YouTube.
You have to get a certain amount of consistent listeners to get analytics on Apple.
Okay.
Yeah. Um,
Speaking of Amazon, uh,
mhm.
the PlayStation, I just got a notification about it. I asked about your favorite costume. I asked about your favorite candy. Oh, do you believe in ghosts? Like, do you believe in any like paranormal or cryptids? Cryptids?
do not believe in ghosts. I do fully believe that Momo's spirit has been here with me the last 2 weeks. Because, well, we have her ashes, right?
No, I did not know that. I didn't know that you
Okay.
have.
They live in the hallway in front of my bathroom. So
I'm surprised you didn't dump them down the toilet.
I am not gonna do that. Um, but no, fully, I don't believe in ghosts. I believe in like spiritual kind of like spiritual energy, if that makes sense. Like not,
Okay.
I don't believe in completely believe in like zodiacs and stuff like that. It's just kind of
Hmm.
like, oh, like things must happen. But like I don't know. I don't know fully what I believe in.
Okay. So you're like open to the experience though, like you're not like completely closed off to it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Whereas me,
To be honest,
I've had experiences. I'm
mhm,
100% a believer. I've seen things. I've had things happen. Um, I even saw a ghost that my neighbor actually opened up and told me about in his apartment.
mhm,
Um, because my window faces his window, so we can
mhm.
see into each other's apartment. And
Boy.
my window also faces his porch, so if he's
Mhm,
out on the porch and I have my windows open, he can see me.
mhm.
So not the most ideal positioning, but at least I know like if something were happening in here that he could see it.
Mhm.
So like say I got in a fight or something or someone broke in, he would see it.
Yeah. Yeah. I
But
mean, honestly, I don't want to see a ghost. I think I shit my pants.
okay, you sound like one of my other neighbors who's like, I 100% believe, and but I am too fucking afraid.
I don't want to see it. Like, I'm not usually, like, I can watch a horror movie in the middle of the night and I'd probably be fine. Like, would not scare me. But honestly, I don't want to see it. Like, I don't, maybe hearing it or something, fine. I don't want to see something. That's
So you
scary.
don't want to see the Shadow Man. He's
No.
like, yeah, that's how one of my neighbors was, which I'm so glad this experience got me able to meet like some of my neighbors more fully because this guy is really cool. He's a little bit older than Mason and a little bit younger than Justin. Like I think
Okay.
he's only a year older than Mason,
Okay.
maybe two. But he is in one of the other apartment buildings
Mm,
and um yeah, he's a lot like our family, which is really funny. He's from Massachusetts area
mhm.
and
Where in
like
Massachusetts?
I think outside of Boston,
What part of outside of Boston? North or south? Or east? Or
probably north.
east is the ocean. West. West. East is the ocean.
uh yes, east, definitely from the ocean.
Okay. Atlantis. Okay.
He is no, I'm just kidding. I'm not 100% sure. We didn't really like talk fully about where he's from. He just said like he grew up in like around Boston.
Okay.
Um but I thought that was really cool and I told him about being in Marlboro and he's like, "Oh, sure, sure. I know where that is." And like, you
I
know,
wonder if he's from Franklin.
huh?
I wonder if he's from Franklin.
Probably not.
Just
Um
what Dean
I don't
called.
know. But I did tell him that you studied at Dean and
Mhm.
he's like, "Oh, yeah, yeah." Like kind of understood where things were and stuff.
Okay,
I
if
don't
he
think he's
knew where
been
Dean
there in
was,
a long time.
if he knew where Dean was, he's definitely from south of Boston.
Okay.
I can almost guarantee it, unless he got like brochures from them. But
He might have. I mean, I don't know how old he was when he left Massachusetts and stuff, but he's been like moving around. He doesn't like to stay in one place too long. And I think he gets and I think that's why I like really relate to him a lot in the sense that we have a lot of like similar personality type and stuff. And so I think that's why we kind of like really bonded over this stuff. And
Mhm.
however, terrified of ghosts. He does not want to see one. He does not want to experience anything. He's like, I will not acknowledge it, even if it's happening.
Oh my god.
I will poop my pants. I will scream like a little girl, and I will crawl under my blanket and pretend that this is not happening.
I mean, it's not even that I'm scared. I like, and because I know for a fact, like, I mean, can ghosts really hurt you, right? Like,
I mean, there is a lot of evidence that they can.
yeah.
So,
Mm,
um, but yeah, no, I love all things paranormal. I love cryptids. I like I enjoy that. I think it's fascinating, and I don't think all ghosts are here to harm us. I do think there are entities that are of darker meanings,
mhm,
but I think most of them just want someone to know what happened to them.
mhm.
And personally, though, I'm sorry. I would like for Mama's spirit to not come to the US and stay over there.
I think she's here. I think she's fine here. I think she might be enjoying it. 'Cause, right, I mean, yeah.
I don't know. I I have some grudges against that
Mhm.
side of the family. And so I think that my thing is, how did Lucy live the longest?
I
She
don't
had
know.
a tracheotomy at like 30 something years old.
I don't know.
She may have been older, I don't know. But I mean, I remember there were like a few years in a row where she was living with Grandma Wilson,
Mhm.
and they literally thought she was gonna die.
Mhm.
Also, her house is filthy. Her
Yeah.
house was so filthy. I would not stay at Mama and Papa's if Lucy was there
Mhm.
because she always brought bed bugs. And
Ugh.
there was a time where I got
Mhm.
bitten and like ate up by bed bugs, so I left. I
Yeah.
was like, I cannot stay here. I'm not dealing with this.
Mhm.
And so before I left, I sprayed all my clothes with like cleaning spray, and then
Mhm.
I didn't care if I got bleach stains or whatever on my clothes. All my
Mhm.
clothes have paint or something on it, so that I was just like whatever, and I sprayed it with like hardcore cleaner, and then I threw them all in the wash and stuff. I
Mhm.
was like, I'm not bringing bed bugs back to wherever I was going. I think I had already moved out at this point.
Okay, yeah, I don't know. But anyway, it is getting kind of late here.
That's the thing though, is that you are 6 hours ahead of me.
Mhm.
So if we had started at the initial time that you probably normally start filming, which
Mhm.
is like 6 p.m. for you, that is noon for me.
I know, usually when I'm with mom, I would've, but I really wanted to watch the game.
Right,
It was earlier than I thought it was gonna be because usually the games, like some of the games are later, but they played in Finland, which is an hour
right,
ahead. So if they had
right,
started the game, it would have actually been 9:45 there because normally they start the games at like 8:45 for the
right.
Nation League. So I was like, yeah. So this kind of worked good for
Because it is only 3, so I'm technically day drinking right now.
yeah. I know usually when I film with mom, I have to film at 6 p.m. because she's not gonna drink before noon.
That's funny because I won't drink before like I do not like drinking before like afternoon.
Really? I have sometimes I'll have like a glass of wine with lunch, like
No,
but
I don't like to drink in general.
mhm.
So I definitely don't like to drink usually when I have work. I know I work tomorrow, but like this is a separate kind of thing. This is kind of a fun, chill thing. I'm only having one cocktail. I thought about making more, but I was like, nah, I'm not gonna go crazy because you saw I sent you most of them. I save cocktails for Halloween. I think
Yeah.
that's so fun. I think that would
Yeah.
be such a fun thing to do is have a bunch of friends over, make a bunch of spooky cocktails. Like that'd be so fun. But
Mhm.
I don't have a lot of friends. So
That's okay. I have no friends here at least, so.
I have a lot of like online friends and like people that I game with or whatever. I have one friend who lives like actually really close to me.
Mhm.
Um, and then I have my D&D group from college that I still kind of talk to here and there. Uh,
Mhm.
I've actually run into a couple of them in town after college, which was really fun, really
Mhm.
nice to see.
Mhm.
Um, but I haven't really like seen most of them in person since college.
Yeah.
And like I, oh, one last question.
Okay.
Uh, for you, what was your favorite college experience?
Oh boy.
Huh?
Did not have that many good experiences in college, to be honest. Um,
Honestly, same, but
I'm honestly, I can't even really think of like any like majorly great experiences. I definitely the last year was not a good experience for me. Um, with like I had a lot of like personal issues going on. But I don't know. I liked a lot of my dance classes. I think just like my dance classes were probably just all the greatest. So,
I think I have like a list of my some of my favorite experiences. One
mhm,
of my most favorite experiences was freshman year and like meeting the group that I would like kind of hang out with. But
mhm,
one of my most favorite things was I was considered an enigma
mhm,
in my D&D group
mhm.
because they knew I existed and they would
Yeah.
see me around and stuff. But they were
Mhm.
like, I have never seen you in one place more than 30 minutes. And I was just like, they're like, you're just like all over the place and I can't find you. I'm just like, just text me. I
Mhm.
will come to your aid and call if you just text me.
Mhm. Oh,
So,
yeah.
and it was just like this really funny thing because in my D&D group, I was just this person who was like so focused on trying to keep the group alive
Yeah.
that like my character died, right? And then was revived by a unicorn because my character was a paladin who was so holy that they're
Yeah.
like, nah, we can't have this character die yet. They're too young.
Oh, maybe I should wear my unicorn onesie tonight when I go to
Oh
bed.
yeah, that's a really cute onesie.
Well, it has
Mom sent me
it's
so many pictures of you in it because she thought it was so funny.
really cute. I also have a unicorn robe.
Oh, I should see. I could have dressed a Jack Skellington probably because I think I have my Jack Skellington onesie here.
I almost said the other day that we should wear our onesies, like my unicorn onesie and your Jack Skellington onesie. And then I was like, no, I want to dress up as a cowgirl. I haven't gotten to wear my cowgirl hats yet.
That's
So
funny. I
anyway,
remember one year, um, I had gotten a dance costume from
mhm,
your dance academy that you were at. I
mhm.
I don't remember the name of that dance academy. I don't know if you do.
Destiny Dance.
Destiny Dance, yeah.
Yes,
Didn't
I still follow them
one
on
of
Instagram.
didn't after you leave, one of the mean girls from high school started dancing there? I think you know who I'm talking about. I don't want to say her name, but she's
I
blonde and very mean.
I don't think she was mean. I might be thinking of a different person as you, but I didn't think she was mean. She was always nice to me.
Okay, I don't know. They have me on Snapchat still.
People that I used to dance with at Field of Dreams have either just got, well, have gotten married and also have had babies. And it feels
That
weird.
that's fun though. I mean, like I love talking to. I have this lady who comes into work.
Mhm.
She's stunning, by the way. She's so stunning, and so is her husband. Um, they just had a baby like 6 to 10 months ago. I don't actually know. And
Mhm.
they went through this, and I was like, oh my goodness, I can't imagine going through this with a baby. And then
Mhm.
someone told me, like, oh no, the baby wasn't the worst part. The only like thing was like getting formula or keeping milk
Yep.
without power.
Mhm.
Um, and so like because you have to keep milk a certain temperature, especially like breast milk and stuff like that. So there were like a lot of mothers who had newborns who were offering to feed other babies and
Mhm.
stuff. And I'm just like, that's a weird thought. I don't want that in
That's
my
Here's the
head.
thing. There's a thing called a wet nurse. That's a
Yeah, a wet hair.
right, like that's a normal thing. I know it sounds weird, but I mean, some people
Yeah,
breastfeed and they want to, so yeah.
yeah. But like so there was that going on here, and then like so I was like talking to her, and she's like, my main thing was the boys because her boys are a little bit older than
Mhm.
her new baby girl. And same with one of my coworkers has a boy who is 2, I think, and a boy that is 4.
Mhm.
And uh I she was like, you have to keep them occupied. And boys ask a lot of questions. That's what
Mhm.
I've learned. It's like young boys tend to
Mhm.
question everything.
Mhm.
And I also see that in our nephew because I went
Mhm.
down to hang out with him, and
Yeah.
he is the light of my life. Like he is so funny to watch and like watch grow up and stuff. And like I felt the same thing about our niece when she was young. It was just so fun to watch her grow up, become her
Mhm.
own person and stuff. But now she doesn't really want to hang out with people. She's like
No.
very shy and stuff.
Yeah. We were trying
And
to get her on the podcast and she won't do it.
I feel like she just kind of like lives her own life away from reality, if that makes sense. Like her
Yeah.
room is her sanctuary, and
Mhm.
she had the black cat. That's I'm just like, girl, if I could get you into the thing that I got into as a teenager, I feel like you would understand life a little bit better and like wouldn't feel so alone. But at the same time, some of the things that I was into as a teenager, I would not recommend anybody because
Mhm.
I was into like like you now and like Twitch streaming and stuff like that. And I would not recommend that to someone whose
No.
brain is not fully functional because there
Yeah.
is very much a chance that you will be taken advantage of.
Yeah.
But um but I was lucky. I paid attention to who I was watching, who I was talking to, who was on my like when I would stream on you now, I would like pay attention to who was jumping in. If there were like older men, I would end it immediately. Or like I would not give any personal information. I would have like a character name for when I was streaming, which I
Mhm.
don't think mom knew this, but I don't do it anymore. I haven't done it since I was like maybe 16, 17.
Mhm.
Um, and so like and I wasn't doing anything like bad on there. I was just
Yeah.
talking with my friends,
Yeah.
uh, or like talking about current, like the current music, or like I remember talking about Suicide Silence, which uh, on November 1st I used to make a post for the
Mhm.
lead singer of Suicide Silence. He unfortunately drove drunk
Mhm.
uh, on the night of Halloween, November 1st,
Mhm.
and crashed his motorcycle.
Mhm.
And so I always post a little thing
Mhm.
on there saying rest in peace, Mitch Fletcher. Um, but because I did like his music, I like same with Linkin Park. I would post things for Linkin Park, um, which I don't know the whole Linkin Park drama now. I don't know if you heard any of it. It's wild. I
Okay.
definitely recommend if you like looking into wild conspiracies and stuff like that, that is one that you need to look into because it's hilarious.
Oh my gosh. Oh geez. Yeah, okay. It is starting to get late here, so I do kind of
Yeah,
want to sleep a little
definitely.
bit. Um, but
Any clothing remarks?
um I don't know. Oh my God, my computer. Okay. No, my computer's not actually that dead. I just overreacted to I thought it was farther back than it was, my battery thing. So, I don't know. I am excited to watch more football, and I'm sad I don't have anyone my age to watch it with. It's fun to watch with dad sometimes, but also it's like it's fine.
I don't know. I mean, dad was this is something that I like talk to people
Hmm.
about a little bit with
Hmm.
having dad as a coach for
Hmm.
like some of the sports that I played was
Hmm.
kind of like a really weird thing
Uh-huh.
of trying to separate his like coaching from the fact that he was my dad.
Yeah.
And I remember a time that I got in so much trouble with him because I was like apparently I remember just wanting to play like second base or something.
Uh-huh.
I really liked playing second base, but I was in the outfield and I did not like playing the outfield
Mhm.
because we were like 13, 14-year olds
Mhm.
and we couldn't hit that hard.
Yeah.
So I really did not like being in the outfield because it just felt lazy. It felt like a lazy position.
Yeah.
And second base was a very active position, same with shortstop. So I
Yeah.
remember really like playing shortstop and second base. And I remember asking him if I could switch.
Hmm.
And I also remember our second baseman getting injured somehow. I think she got stung by a bee and she was allergic.
Ooh.
I think it was something like that. I remember her getting injured. That's all
Uh-huh.
I remember. I don't know if a ball hit her wrist or if she got stung on the wrist, but I do remember it was something with her wrist.
Hmm.
And so I was able to play second
Hmm.
base,
Yeah.
but I do remember that I almost got kicked off the team for arguing about what position I was playing.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do understand that I opened up that tangent, but I but oh my gosh. Yeah, no, I just wish I had other people to talk about football with, but it's okay. Um, it's fine. Okay, I'm gonna
I
hmm?
it's just so funny that you are like now really getting into like football or as we call it here in the States, soccer.
Here's the thing, I've always loved sports, but I've never had the opportunity to get into them, and now I do. So,
It's just like really funny to me though, in the sense of that like I grew up playing like
yeah.
soccer and softball and stuff like that, and I really did not like dancing.
Yeah.
But I think that was because I was put into the dance classes that I didn't want to be in. I
Yeah.
really wanted to be in hip hop and jazz, but I was
Yeah.
put in ballet.
Mhm.
And so
Yeah.
I quit after that 1 year of ballet. I really did not like ballet. I
Yeah.
did enjoy the technical parts, but
Yeah.
I hated,
See, that's
hated
I
the
love
actual dance.
yeah. I love ballet.
Whereas,
My favorite.
yeah. And so it was just like really funny because I was like, you were able to do the classes that I wanted to do.
Well, I didn't
Like
do
I
hip.
want
I did jazz. Yeah.
you did jazz and you did contemporary and modern, which
Mm.
were the ones that I kind of wanted to do.
Do not like modern. Oh, God. Not modern. It's too weird. I mean, like I love watching modern. I love watching modern. I do not
Mhm.
like dancing modern.
I don't know. I would really like to like actually learn how to do hip hop and stuff because I there are some dancers that I follow on social medias that I'm
Mhm.
just like enamored by. I'm just like, how do you move your body like that?
You can use YouTube. They have like stuff on YouTube where you can do like freestyle.
Yeah.
So you should look it up.
Which I most of them I do follow on like Instagram and YouTube and stuff, and I'm just like so enamored. Oh my God. I wanted to ask if you
Uh-huh.
wanted to do a podcast episode on like dance and dance moms and stuff
Yes, I do. Yes.
because
100.
I
Have you
so want to
have you
talk
seen the
about
stuff
the.
going on with Christy?
No, I don't. But
Okay, because I'm on the Dance Moms subreddit. So
right,
it's wild.
okay, you're
Okay,
gonna have to
but
like,
this is gonna be another episode. Like we gotta
yeah,
wrap it. So
yeah.
I'm gonna say my closing remarks really quick. Okay. Thank you for listening, and we hope you had a spooky Halloween. We'll be back Sunday with a regular episode. In the meantime, if you want to join the conversation, follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Wine Together Pod.